So now the Jeep has two remotes in the back, because when you need entertainment, there's a little screen up top here. This is that 15.6-inch screen that I got on Amazon. It's just a screen, and it can bypass its output through a USB-C, which it is charged with, back out, so I can actually plug my Nintendo Switch into this little plug right there, that USB-C, and it will charge my Switch while displaying the Switch on this screen here, so I'll be able to play games. But it also has Netflix, so I can have my Netflix, I can have Hulu, Amazon Prime, because of my Wi-Fi router, which is up at the top over here. So that leaves me those options for entertainment, but there are going to be some times when I'm out where I probably won't get great reception from the Wi-Fi. So in that case, and this is all being powered by that Rockpal unit right here. I don't have it really secure in there, but it holds in good enough for now. And this is running off of AC on a little just adapter here. I got this at the dollar store. I need a better one with some USB outs. But this right here is the Amazon Prime stick. This is the TV, and then this one plugged in here is an HDTV tuner box, which takes in HDTV signal, and I've also mounted an HDTV antenna up in the top there. It's actually pretty small. My hand is about the size of it, so it's about 9 inches across. So it's a little thin, paper thin antenna. It's just stuck to the ceiling, and I did physically mount the TV on with some plastic or PVC framework and some foam to keep it from rattling and keeping it tight and secure. And I also cut out behind the speakers so that the noise would come out. I built this because leaving it in the case that it was originally in muffled the sound a lot, since the speakers are on the back and they were being muffled up by the roll bar. So this is the new contraption there, which holds it all, and then pins the antenna up, which is also stuck on there. This right here is a 2-input HDMI switch, so 2 different HDMIs in to 1 HDMI out, which goes to the TV. This HDMI here is the HDTV tuner, and that right here, it's harder to see, is the Amazon Fire Stick right there. So this is all got to be covered, and I did get a material. This is made by Sunbrella. It's an umbrella material, but it's a nice fabric that's non-see-through and will be good to cover the roll bars and all my wiring with, to keep it nice and clean in here. I don't like to have to dust and clean around wires. I'd rather conceal it all, and then I can clean it by wiping down the exterior surfaces. Obviously, if you're dwelling in a vehicle, you want to be able to clean it as nice as possible. So this is the HDTV tuner box. It's very small. You can see right there. It has some physical buttons on the outside. It has a USB on the front. I'm actually using that to power the amplifier for the antenna for the long range. But you can actually put a thumb drive in there and record and pause live television. So you can use it as a DVR box. It's actually quite nice. So let's hit this little button there, and that will switch the inputs. And we're getting really spotty reception with the HDTV right now, just because we have some thunder showers rolling through. I actually was driving my Jeep without the top on and got poured on. But as you can see, this is the format of, just regular broadcast television. And I'm sure I'll get yelled at for having some form of stuff on the screen that's not mine, so we'll go right to the menu. But then this allows you to, watch TV, record TV. It can also play files off of like a thumb drive or any kind of USB drive. You can use a hard drive if you'd prefer. But it does have a lot of options. This little box, I think, was $30 or $25. So you can look at multimedia, movies, or photos. So it has a bunch of, rich features in it. And then it also allows me, like I said, to play my Amazon Prime and the Nintendo Switch. The Switch isn't on there. It draws a lot more electric, but you can see here that the 3 of those, the screen, the Amazon Fire Stick, and the HDTV tuner, all of those components only draw 17 watts in total. So that's really, really low wattage. And then the Amazon Prime Stick, or Fire Stick, if I unplug that, that takes away about 2 watts. And then each the TV and the HDTV tuner are about 8 watts or so. And it runs at about 15 or 16 without that plugged in. So Obviously, if you're not using one of the peripherals, unplug it because it would be much more practical at saving battery. But that being said, this battery is extremely large in its capacity. It's got, I think, about 300 watt hours. So if I'm running about 15 watts on average, that's about 20 continuous hours of use without recharging it. Obviously, I'm going to be putting some recharging options for this in the vehicle, which will make that much longer before I'd ever run out of battery, more likely days, if at all, if I ever were running it really hard. But yeah, that's the update to the internal entertainment system. And the screen, the quality is really good. I will say it's really clever. It shuts itself off. It's very user-friendly. The only thing I would recommend is focusing on some way to redirect that sound from the back, because it's the further back you go from the screen, the less effective that noise is at getting to you. So I made a bell-shaped or a cone-shaped that I routed out, and it rounds at the back behind the speaker, and that lets it cast it outward a little bit better. But that would be the only thing I would recommend if you were looking at one of these, is either doing something like that, or if you knew you didn't have that option. I had an option to buy this exact same screen setup, but it had a phono out, and I chose not to go that route because I didn't want to have to wire speakers in. But if you knew that it was going to be too hard to do something like this, you could just get one with a phono out and an amplified set of speakers, or a Bluetooth dongle that would then broadcast that as Bluetooth outward. Those little Bluetooth dongles are usually pretty cheap. I actually have a couple of them, some of them that run directly from USB on, and some that have their own batteries in them. This MPOW one I've had for years now. It just charges, you can unplug it, and it just broadcasts whatever is coming over the Bluetooth through this phono line in. So then you could just plug that into the TV and have Bluetooth out if you wanted that for louder volume. But for my intensive purposes, this is exactly what I needed, and it was super cheap. So this is an easy way to have some cheap entertainment on the go. The HDTV tuner box was about $30 or just shy of, and so was the antenna. So for about 55, 60 bucks, you can have TV pretty much everywhere you go, as long as you have a screen to plug it into. And I'd always recommend some kind of a screen, just because, you know, modern era, you get bored, something to do. Especially if it's rainy out.